Hello, everyone. Let me get this straight. All right, how is everyone doing? Happy Monday. Yay! um, it is the week before Christmas. Christmas is literally 1 week from today. Is everyone ready? 'Cause I'm not. I still have some Christmas shopping to do. Go figure, right? Hello, Sharon. Hey, Sharon. I saw you were calling in as I was actually already set up. My phone and everything was there. So I will call you after I get done with my live. Because I would have to undo my setup and then put it all back. So I will call you as soon as I get done. But anyway, let's see. I think there's some weird things happening with my computer. There's like, I don't know, things in the view that aren't normally there. So I don't know what's going on. Anyway, we are going to play with Warmest Heart tonight. And I love this bundle. It is one that I feel like may have been a sleeper in the catalog because when I looked it up to make sure it was still there, obviously I wasn't going to change what I was going to do tonight, but I did look online to make sure that it was still available, and it is, but I double checked the prices too. And y'all, the stamp set is $10.80. So that is almost $8. Well, that'd be like $7.20 off. And then the dies are $16.20, and that's over a $10 savings. So this is a great set. I highly recommend it. It is in my top 5, probably one of my favorite sets in the whole thing. It was, I believe, the second one, maybe the first one in my cart when we were able to pre-order for the mini catalog back 4 months ago. So, so that's what we're going to play with tonight. I'm really excited about the projects. I know I've probably said that a couple times on Facebook too. So hello, Verna, and hello, Kathy. Make sure you comment, make sure you share so that your name can go into the drawing. Last week's prize winner was Tracy Evans. Tracy, I do not know if I have your address or not. I was trying to think when I pulled your name, but if you'll just email it to me, and you can find my email in the description of the video. It should be in there. If it's not, let me make sure real quick. You can go directly to my website and pull it from there. So, but make sure that I have yours so that I can send you this as your prize. And then next week's gift for commenting, sharing, doing all that fun stuff, giving me the big thumbs up, is the Massive Thanks stamp set. One of my team members is cleaning out her craft room, and she had a bunch of stamp sets that had actually not been used. So this is thanks to Amanda. So this is actually a really good set because it has all kinds of different little thank you sentiments in it. So, so make sure that you do the commenting and the sharing so that you can get in on that. Hello, Nicole. How are you? Okay, I'm going to put you down real quick to the table so that I can show you some more stuff. I actually don't have a lot to talk about tonight, which is great because, well, you know, it's close to Christmas and all that fun stuff. So, all right, I think I got it all adjusted. Move my little notes there. All right. Okay, so new catalog is coming. Yay! If you are a current customer of mine and you have spent $50 or more from me in the last 6 months, you should have a calendar, or not a calendar, a catalog that has been mailed to you. You should be getting it, I'm pretty sure, like right about now. I've seen some people start posting that they have it. Normally, I mail one to myself, but somehow I forgot to put my click on me as a customer. So anyway, so I forgot to mail one to myself. So if you don't get one in the mail, let me know and I will get that out to you. My stash of them for events came in, so I've got that. And Sharon, I just read yours. You called Kathy and she helped you. Fantastic. Thank you, Kathy. For those of you who don't know, Kathy Goldie is like my right-hand lady. She knows all and she does all for me. She is on my team, and she was one of my first team members. I think you were like number 3 or 4, Kathy. But she's been with me a long time, and seriously, I wouldn't get anything done if it was not for her. She keeps me in line. So anyway, if you want a catalog, make sure you let me know and I will get those out to you. And don't forget, celebration will be January and February. So you'll want to make sure that you place your orders in January and February to get your free items. There's $50 categories, $100 categories. And tonight we're going to be doing some sneak peeks from the mini catalog, which, of course, as always, I love, right? Hello, Angie. Hey, Deb. Okay, so the only thing I really have to talk to y'all about is 3 things. One is Club for January is this right here. And Club is in January is starting in January. It will be $45 due to increases in card stock and all that fun stuff. But to kind of offset that some too, I will be giving a minimum of $25 in products. Usually it's about $22. So now it'll be a minimum of $25. And then of course shipping costs have gone up. So that's kind of where that extra cost is coming from now. But Club is $45. It shipped, the last day to register for this one is January the 16th. There is information in the description of this video that you can pull to find all the information. But for Club for January, it will include a whole pack. We're going to focus on the memories and more. So there's actually no stamping at all. And it will include a full pack of the memories and more. So it's got like the little 3x4 cards, and then I think these are 5x7 if I'm not, no, 5x, oh goodness, I can't remember now. But anyway, and then they've got stickers that come with it, all kinds of fun stuff in your little memories and more pack. And then it also has a coordinating envelopes and card base pack. So there's 20 cards in here. So although I created 6 here, you'll have enough products to actually create 20 cards for this month. And then the other thing that you'll get with Club is a full bolt of the gingham ribbon, which this is my favorite ribbon. So again, $45. Information in the description. Last day to sign up for that is January the 16th. And I was on it this month and got it already. The other thing I did want to talk about, I'll pull in these catalogs real quick, is I will have a paper share. The paper share will be $35, and it will include a 1/4 of a pack of each paper that's in this catalog. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 packs of paper. So you'll get a 1/4 of that, and it's $35. And then I also have the ribbon share, which you can do a 1/4 of each bolt. There's four packs of ribbon. You can do a 1/4 of it, which is $12, or you can do half, which is $23. So that information will be coming. I can't really post any of that until next week. So once I get that, you can only post it so many days prior to actually ordering. So as soon as I'm able, I will post all that information. If you get both, then I am going to give you a sneak peek of the celebration paper. You'll get a couple pieces of celebration paper if you do both the paper and the ribbon share. So that is always fun. And then, of course, my regular Stampin' Bingo in person in Winnsboro, South Carolina, will be on February the 3rd, and that cost is $45. So that's all kind of coming up. You can go to Facebook and you can see all that information there. All right, that is it. And I'm going to move some stuff around. And a few minutes ago, well, probably like half an hour ago, I posted a sneak peek of our first card. Again, I know I've said this a million times, but I love this bundle. I love it. I had a lot of fun playing with it. And here is some sneak peeks coming up. This is some paper. It's called Lighter Than Air, and it's going to match some hot air balloon. I'm going to give you a little sneak peek of the hot air balloons. So there's a bundle, and this is actually a whole suite of products that will coordinate with this paper. So it's a very, very cute set. So, and I have tried to do as much as possible, but we will have to do some die cutting. All right. Sharon, the catalogs, do we get them at the same time? So it depends on where you live. They're all mailed out from Stampin' Up. I don't do, unless I forget to hit submit, I don't mail them myself because it's actually cheaper for me to have Stampin' Up just mail them directly to my customers. So if you don't get it in the next week or two, I would say, let me know and I will stick one in the mail to you, or I can give one to you at class on the 6th if you'll be there. So, all right. So we are going to pull out our paper and all that fun stuff here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I've already stamped this because this is just regular stamping and then die cutting out. I already cut out that one as well. And then these two little pieces here. What we are going to need to cut out though is our sun. And we're going to stamp that with some basic black. And I found a little circle scrap and decided I was going to stamp it on that. All right, next we're going to stamp on our designer series paper, or DSP. We're going to stamp this thermos on there. And if you don't know the story of why this is my favorite set, I will tell you really quick. So growing up, my dad was we liked to camp and hike and do all those things. So as a child, though, one of my memories is my dad always carrying a thermos around. He had a green one, and I cannot remember the brand name. My mother probably knows. My dad, well, obviously my dad would know too, but, and it was, one of those things that literally, if you saw him, you saw that green thermos. So when I saw this set, that's all I could think about, because it has a couple pieces in there, like the mountains here, and then you've got like the sun with the trees. So it kind of reminded me of like the forest and the hiking and all that stuff. And so anyway, that's why I love this set. Brings back lots of memories. To this day, I still love hiking and camping. So it always still kind of brings up those childhood memories as well. Okay, so typically we would die cut this, and that's what I actually did here, but I don't need the whole thing again. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to fussy cut just out the part that I need. Because what I want to do, because we're going to adhere it to our white cardstock here, so I need to cut on the black line. And it does not have to be a perfect black line. You just want to make sure there's a little bit of black still on your designer series paper. but it doesn't have to be a whole lot. And then we're going to come here and cut on this one. And the cutting line doesn't even have to be straight, because once we adhere it to our other stamped part, it is going to be unnoticeable. Sorry, I was fussy cutting and forgot my words. All right, so we're going to cut that off, and then I'm going to put that in there, and then we're going to trim right off on here. And I'm a lefty, so sometimes it's a little harder for me to cut and see. Okay. So we're going to set that aside really quick, and before we adhere that, we're going to color our top, and we're going to color that with some fresh freesia. We're going to start with our dark. Actually, I'm going to do the light, and we're just going to color in the whole area. And then I'm going to color down here too. And then I'm just going to give it some darker areas. And then we're going to color all of this part dark. You know, back when we were kids, you know, they didn't have all these fun fun thermoses that you could buy, or water bottles, or, you know, that kind of stuff. They were all pretty much one color. They were like green or silver, I believe. Okay, so there we go. So we've got that part now. And since we're going to be coloring, let's go ahead and color our sun. We're going to take our dark lemon lolly, and I'm literally going to do this with it. Okay, I just want to make sure that I have enough along the outside edges so that when we cut it, it looks like we've stamped it on lemon lolly. But I wanted it to be slightly darker, but not as dark as Daffodil Delight. So that's why I went with the coloring with the Stampin' blend instead. Okay, so we just need to cut this one out. So I'm going to pull in my machine here. And probably going to need some tape. And let's see. I have to find the dies though first. And we'll line it up. And one great thing about this sun is that when you cut it out, even if you don't line it up perfectly, you will never be able to tell. Hello, Linda. All right. So there is our cute little sun, and see, I really did mess that one up, but it's not a problem because it's a sun, so it's not going to be perfect, right? At least that's what I tell myself. All right, so I've moved that out the way. I'm going to put my die back on my little sheet there. All right, let's grab some glue and let's adhere this piece down on this one. And I'm going to grab my Stampin' Seal Plus for that. I'm going to flip this over. And it's a little piece, so it's going to, of course, not like me very much. All right. Okay, so now we're going to line this up here. And then we're going to make sure it lines up down at the bottom like that. So your paper piercing is what you're kind of doing with this. And so literally the reason we cut off those black lines is now you have your straight line there, or cut in the middle of that black line. So now it doesn't look like you have a whole separate white piece to your designer series paper piece. Okay. So now we've got all that done. Let's pull in our card base. Let's fold it in half. Oh, I forgot to mention, there is a blog post. So all of the measurements are over on the blog. All right, so we've got that, and then we're gonna take this white, and we've got a black mat to go with it. And again, all the measurements are on that blog post. So we're gonna take this piece though first, and we're gonna adhere our little strips. And we're gonna start with the pool party. So with the pool party, because it's smaller, I'm going to adhere my adhesive directly to my card base. Okay, and then we're gonna line it up and attach it. Okay, and then we will take our little shimmer piece here, and then we will line it up right up underneath. Like that. And then we've got another strip of that designer series paper. We're going to put this at the bottom, almost kind of like a tabletop, so that they're not floating in the air. And then we're going to stick it right here on the edge. There we go. All right, and then I've got my cutter, so let's trim off the edges. All right, so I was asking as people were coming in if you are ready for Christmas. I am not. I think this will be year number 2 that I've not been ready for Christmas. Not really sure why I can't get it together. Back in the day, I used to actually have all of my Christmas shopping done by the 1st of December. Not anymore. Not anymore. That does not happen very often anymore. All right, we've got those edges trimmed off, and then we are going to start putting our other pieces on there. All right, so that's going to be our top, and what I'm going to do is actually, before we move on, I'm going to wrap our linen thread around the top. And I'm going to go ahead and tie that bow so that it is done. And this is going to be there's like a defect in the linen thread there, so it looks a little wonky. All right. I think that'll be good though. There we go. And we'll trim off those ends for those tails like that. All right. We're going to use that linen thread again in a little bit. All right. So first I want to place where I'm going to put my thermoses here, or water bottles, whatever you want to call them. So this one's going to be up just a little higher. This one's going to be a little lower. And the reason I need to place that is because now I need to do our sentiment, and I want to make sure that I put the sentiment up high enough. When I was playing around creating the card, I didn't put the sentiment up high enough, and so I had to restamp it. Okay, and then I might have not moved it over enough, but that's okay. We'll make it work, won't we? Okay, so let's put this on there now. And we will put this one right about here and to the left. This is going to get popped up, so we're going to grab dimensionals and pop it right on up. I know, Kathy, it really is. I have to say, in the new mini catalog, it's probably my top favorite paper. The Be Mine will be second and in close running with it. But it has a lot of fun patterns. And, you know, it's got some really good masculine patterns to it. All right. Stick that there. And then let's do a big one down here. Okay. Got to use those edges of those dimensionals. Don't let them go to waste. All right. Then we're going to stick this one here. And then we've got these little pieces cut here. And what I'm going to actually do is put some glue dots on it, because that will make it easier to attach instead of doing regular adhesive. And I'm probably going to put 3 on there. 1 in the center and 1 on each end. And then this card, for some reason, I have worked a lot of it upside down. All right, there we go. And then we're going to put dimensionals on the back of this piece here. And this is our shimmer paper. And I think it is gorgeous. Oh, you know what? I probably don't need any of those. Let's do adhesive on this side. And then we're going to stick this right about here. There we go. All right, and our sun is going to be the last thing. And what we're going to do, because I stamped that over too far, we are going to move this over even further. If I can get it to move. There it goes. All right. And we have a little bit of working room on our edges because I've cut the base down a little bit further than normal. So that will work like that. Then we're going to put a dimensional on this one. That's the great thing about crafting, is that you can always adjust. And we can even hang that sun over a little bit as well. Okay, all right, there we go. Now let's take this and adhere it directly to our black, or did I pop it up? I did not. So we're going to adhere this directly to our black base here. Maybe if I can get my, you could even attach, and I think I may have actually done that. I think I attached the linen thread around it once I'd adhered it to the black cardstock, but either way is fine. It will adhere to it no matter what, either way. All right, there we go. Then we're going to take and pop up this on our card base. Oh, Nicole, we had a really rainy day here yesterday in South Carolina. But it went away. It was here for one day. I think they said, and Sharon is here in the, in South Carolina as well. So we're in the South. And they said, I think around here where I'm at in Winnsboro, that we got 3 inches, I think it was. So, and unfortunately, it's not cold enough to give us a little bit of snow. I like snow in small amounts. I want a little dusting, just a touch of dusting, and I really only want it to stick for a day. That's it. Then it can go away and we can all move on with our lives. I love snow, but not enough to keep it around forever. All right, so then you just put that right onto your card front, and there we go. There is card number 1. I love the bright colors. And again, I think it really, what makes the card is the designer series paper. And then you got like the pop of yellow for sunshine. Yay! Okay, so that was card number 1. Let me move in card number 2. Card number 2 is going to be a little more intense. Yes, Charleston is, Kathy. Charleston is an absolute disaster. And you know, every time it rains, and if it rains for a long period of time, Charleston just gets, they just don't have the capability to not flood when it rains, which is sad because it's such a beautiful historical city. So I'm not sure if they have anybody who's really working on that in Charleston. So I don't know those answers, unfortunately. Okay, so we're going to do another sneak peek of an item. This is a ribbon that will be coming out in the new catalog, and I love it. It is a little bit more difficult to tie, but you can force it to do what you want it to do. Oh, thank you, Verna. Oh, yeah, Deb, probably so. Probably so. Okay, so we're going to use something that I have not used but maybe once in the entire time that this has been a part of our catalog, and that is the Christmas pine cone. And I will tell you, the reason I don't use it is because it is a very detailed die, and y'all know I don't like difficult. So, but I did it because I had this vision in my head, and this was the closest that I had to making that vision happen. So here we are. I used them, and this is like a little Christmas card, and I ended up loving how it turned out. I feel it's like one of those cabin in the wood cards. You know, I wish my family went away for Christmas and maybe we would go to a cabin in the woods somewhere. With this one, we are also going to pull in another stamp set, which is Celebrate with Tags, and we're going to do this little mitten here. We are going to have to fussy cut it because we don't have the dies anymore, but that's okay because it is easy to fussy cut out. All right, and I've already done the die cutting for the pine cones, so you don't have to watch me do all that. All right, so we are going to start by first putting those onto our card piece because I just feel like that will be the easiest way to start. Okay, so I cut it out. I cut the more solid one, and I know that's weird to say, but this is solid because it's got this is your background piece. And so this is out of Pecan Pie. I did put adhesive sheets on the back, which is why it looks funky right now. So once we start peeling all that off, it's gonna look like it should. All right, so, and then I'm just gonna lightly pull at it. Again, I think the last time I used this, it was, this die, I want to say it was like maybe right when it came out. So that's probably been 1.5 years or 2 years since I've used it. I cannot remember when it exactly came out. So, all right. Now there are some pieces that did get stuck in there, but a great thing about having the adhesive pieces on the back is that you can stick your finger and it will pull right out. I had to run it through several times to make sure that it all cut. So, and then you're gonna have sticky pieces, and that's quite all right. I'm gonna actually attach them to my dimensional piece here. All right, so then we're gonna pull out these two here. These are bigger, so they'll go right in there. And then let's pull out our little ones. And then ta-da, that's it. Okay, so y'all didn't have to watch the complicated parts. Y'all just get to see the easier parts of this one. Well worth it, I will say that, but not a card I would make a lot of. And not a card that I'll probably make again. The 2 times is enough. All right, so then we're just gonna take, and it doesn't really matter which direction, but we're just gonna lay this on the base here. So this is our top layer, and we're just gonna lay it down. And then we'll trim off the edges once we do our second piece. So here's our second piece. I'm not sure why this one cut better than the other one, but it did. So we're gonna, you can see that's the top layer of your pine cones. And so we're gonna just peel off the adhesive sheet on the back. And just be gentle with it because it does like to bend a little bit, which is kind of good and bad all at the same time. All right, so ta-da, there we go. All right, now I'm gonna pull out the pieces that didn't come out, which looks like it's just this one and, oh, and that was it. Okay, so now we're going to figure out how to line it up. So this looks like it's this piece here, so that's where we're gonna start. And then this is just gonna overlay. So what I do is I just line up the pine cones, and you can have it offset a little bit too. That'll give it more definition, dimension, whatever. And what I was saying about it being great that it does bend a little bit is it gives you the ability to kind of place them where you want them to go. So if you don't want it to line up perfectly, then you can do that. So I just want the pine cones to line up perfectly, but the rest of it can line up a little off. And then let's line these up here like that. Okay, and then we'll place all those down and ta-da. Okay, so now I'm gonna take my scissors, and my large scissors are actually with my Christmas gifts wrapping, so we're gonna use the little one here. And we're just gonna trim off all these edges, and they're gonna fly everywhere. And that's okay. I'll be picking them up for the next 2 weeks. Yay! All right. And you're cutting through basically 2 layers of cardstock here too. So just be cautious when you do it. And it doesn't have to be perfect. All right, well, let's keep going. We've almost got them all trimmed off. You can do your cutter, but unfortunately with my cutter, it just makes it really sticky because we've already taken that adhesive backing off. And so, so I spend more time trying to get it off. And I'm gonna trim it from this way on there. Okay, there we go. Let's see if I can remove some of them from this area. And you can always make your paper bigger too if you wanted. That is totally fine as well, so you don't even have to trim off anything. But honestly, it's what I already had in my paper bin, so that's what I decided to go with. I've been trying to use up all my little extra pieces and cuts and all that fun stuff. So, all right, so here we go. We've got that now done. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take and go ahead and pop this part up onto our card base. I will be vacuuming later tonight as well. If you would like to know what I'm going to be doing after the live. All right, we're going to pop that up, and I'm going to put, you know what? I think I'm going to do the 3 pine cones up there this time. All right, so let's grab our dimensionals. And then we will grab one more sheet of dimensionals. There and there. All right. We will take these off and then we're going to stick it on our card front. And I already stamped the inside for our card because I knew I would not do it on the live. So I went ahead and did it ahead of time. So we're just going to take this and put our adhesive on it and attach it to the inside. I figured out that I never, well, barely do I ever do the inside of the cards on lives. So while I was coloring, I went ahead and did it. Okay, so now I have this, and now we're going to have to do our next pieces here. Okay, we need to stamp on our basic white piece. We need to stamp our thermos one time. We're going to stamp it down here. Okay, then I need to stamp the mitten, but with the mitten we are going to do, or the glove, whatever you want to call it, we're going to do that in cherry cobbler. Oops. Okay, so we're going to put this up here like that. Then I want this inside piece, we're going to stamp it with this, and this comes in the stamp set. So we're going to ink it up with cherry cobbler and we're going to stamp down, and you're just going to stamp it in between those two black lines as best you can. And you're going to notice that it's going to go one way, and you'll notice on the stamp that this center part is longer, and that's your bottom piece, or that's what goes toward the bottom of your thermos there. Okay, now we are going to take our dark cherry cobbler, and I'm going to color this part here. Okay, then I'm going to take the light and I'm going to color all of this here. Like that. Then we will take the dark and these are actually brand new cherry cobbler Stampin' blends, and the tips on the what I call the brush tip is awesome. It's not ruined yet. I have not ruined it. All right, so there we go. Let's move that down a little bit more. There we go. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and fussy cut our mitten out. Let me grab my scissors that I just got all sticky, I'm sure. And I'm going to go ahead and trim this piece out here because we're going to die cut that one. And we'll save that piece for later along with that one because that could cut out a sun. Okay. And we're going to leave a small white border around the mitten. Or a large one, whatever. Some spots will be larger than others, I'm sure. I also do very poorly with the turns, so I always have to go back and trim those up some. All right, and let's do that to clean it up some. I'm not sure it really matters, but it'll matter to me. All right, and then we're going to come around here I will be honest with you, when I fussy cut off camera, it takes me forever. It really does. Now down here, these are all like whatever, like humps or whatever. I'm not being perfect with it. I'm just gonna give it pretty much a semi-straight line. All right, let me trim up the thumb here. Like that, and then there we go. Okay, so some days I'm quicker at it than others. Yeah, Verna, I agree with you on that one. I completely agree with you on that one. Oh, it was red and black, Sharon, was it? Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. You know, and I don't think I ever remember any of my grandparents carrying them around, but my dad, yep, all the time. Okay, let's cut this one out here, and then actually we're gonna have to cut out twice, so let's go ahead and stamp this one, and I need the black memento for that. And we're actually gonna make it shorter, and I'm gonna show you how to do that for our green one that's on our card. Okay, and we are going to actually, before we cut it out, we're gonna stick this on. No, actually we can do it whenever. Sorry, train of thought went in a different direction. I can put my little extra piece on it when I get done cutting it out with the cutting machine. Okay, so let's cut twice. We've got that there, and we're gonna grab that die. And I think there are so many things that you can do. There are so many things that you can do with this set, with like the thermoses. I mean, I see all that you're putting all the different colors and stuff that you've seen, which is so weird because I only thought there was green and silver. Probably because that's the only one my dad had. But it's really awesome to see that. And see, it brings back a whole lot of memories, you know, of the people that are in your life that have been important. So again, why this set was so important to me was because of that. It's just the nostalgia of it all, you know? All right. Okay, so now we've got the green thermos cut out, and we've got our semi, I guess you'd really kind of call it plaid-y. I don't really think that's what it would be, but close enough. So we've got that. Now we're gonna stick, so this is one of the dies in the set. You got this, and then you've got that one that you can add to the front of your thermoses. So I went ahead and cut this out, and it's got the adhesive sheets on the back. And we're gonna attach it. I'm not gonna worry about that because I'll cut that off. We're gonna attach it semi close to the bottom here, but just a little space and then centered, okay? Now, I don't need it this big. I want it to be a shorter thermos because you know they have different sizes that you can purchase. So we're gonna trim this one. We're literally going to cut it off right here underneath this poke out, point, whatever you want to call it, of the added center there. Okay, so just straight across. And I may have even, yep. Now we are going to take and trim that right there. And we want to make sure that we get the whole black part, so I'm going to cut it in the right direction. So you just want to do right on the edge of the black line, and don't have any green there. But if you do, it'll be okay. But I found it looked a little better without the green. Okay, So then we're going to take and put a little bit of adhesive right there. And I'm actually going to take my runner and be off of it a little bit, like that. And then we're going to adhere this, match up your sidelines, and then you're going to adhere it right there. Okay, and then what that does is it also puts your adhesive on that piece, so it does help to kind of really keep it on there. Okay, and if you've got a little extra here on the outside that's sticking out, you can just stick your scissors in there and trim it right off. Okay. All right, so then there are our 2 thermoses and our mitten glove. All right, so we have one more thing. This one's a more detailed card. We are gonna do embossing for our sentiment, because I felt like it needed, if I was gonna do those pine cone dies, we were just gonna go all out, all the way. Okay, I'm gonna grab my Versamark, grab my sentiment, whichever, oh, here it is. So, and the Merry Christmas is from the Celebrate with Tags as well, so that you know where that comes from. All right, stamp it down, grab our white embossing powder, and cover it up. There we go. I'm gonna grab my brush, a little paintbrush here, and get off the extra. Okay. Okay, let me put that lid back on, because I will flat out spill that everywhere. All right, and then let's plug in the heat tool. And then we will grab our tweezers so I don't burn myself. And I'm just going to heat it up until it's all shiny. All right, there we go. And now I'm going to grab my trimmer again, my little trimmer. And we're just going to trim off and literally just make it so that the Merry Christmas is our piece here. I'm going to try to get it as even as possible, but you know, sometimes that doesn't happen. And we'll trim off this. I'm going to trim this again because it looks like I got it crooked. There we go. All right, and then let's do this side here. And I think that is good enough. We will go with it. And you have enough to do one more sentiment with that little piece there. So I will save it. Not that I will do this card again, but I will use cherry cobbler again, I'm sure. Okay, so let's put all of it together now. And we are gonna start with our red one here. Actually, before we do that, nope, we're gonna take some Winkastella and we are gonna just go over our little pine cones here That is the only thing I glimmered up. Because I felt like it just added a little bit more, you know? Sometimes when I get started with doing a spruced up card, I sometimes go a little overboard. I can't seem to stop. All right, so we got those there, and then we'll do this one. Let's grab a little bit more. Sometimes I shake it, and then that kind of helps with getting the liquid down as well before I squeeze. I'm almost to a point where I need a new one. All right, and then let's do this one too, because I think these will be sticking out. Although it looks like it probably should have gone the other way, but that's okay. You know, they hang down in a tree, don't they? Don't pine cones do that as well? They're up and down. All right, there we go. Pine cones done. All right. Then we're just going to put adhesive on the back. And we're going to put this at an angle this way. Like that. All right, and then this is going to get popped up. And I'm going to add a dimensional right there over top of that center where it all comes together. I know that's probably overdoing it, but you know. Y'all know I already like to dimensional up. So what's one more, right? All right. And then this will go right next to our cherry cobbler one. And it's going to kind of go at an angle like this. And I'm not going to press it down. I am just going to lightly lay it down because I'm going to take this, put adhesive on the back of it. And I'm going to slide it in right about there. Okay, and then I will press all of that down. We will then take our sentiment and we're going to put we're going to put adhesive here and dimensionals there. So dimensional there, and then some adhesive right there. And then we're going to lay that over, kind of line it up with the edge there. Then nope, not last, but next to last, we're going to tie this bow. And again, you do have to kind of force it. You have to force your way to making that all stay, but it's well worth it because it is a really pretty color. All right, and then we're going to trim off those ends. You do definitely need good scissors for that as well. We're going to grab our dimensionals, not our dimensionals, our mini glue dots, and I'm going to put 2 on there just to be on the safe side. And then we're going to stick it right down here next to this little button on the mitten. Okay, so now that's on there. Now we're going to add some of our embellishments. And the embellishments are here. Here we go. So these are the blooming pearls, and these will actually carry over as well. So that's always a good thing. We're going to use this color here. I know it's not the right color. This is Pretty Peacock, maybe. No, I'm not sure which one that is, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I think it looks great once you put it on, and it all works. It all works. So we're going to do here And we're going to do down here 2, 3, oops, 4. Let's do 4 right there. And then we're going to add 5 right up there. Okay. Make sure those are all pressed down and good. And then there we go. That is card number 2. We're going to call that the fancy card. But again, I fell in love with it. I love this card. I think it's great. So, all right, let's do our next one. And the next one is a little easier, not as complicated. And that is our next one. So one of the stamps in this set says, get well soon. And when I read that, I thought, okay, well, I definitely need to do that because, you know, a lot of people have been sick lately. And so I was like, I could do that and I have cards to send to people. But then when I saw it, I was like, but we have a really big die that also says feel better soon. So I decided to go with the die, and I decided to use my favorite paper that's in the holiday catalog. And that is the Garden Walk paper, which also coordinates with that Blooming Pearls. So here are, I embossed the background here with one of the basic 3D folders. These are the Wanted to Say dies. It's got happy birthday, you're too kind, celebrate, and I thought it had, nope, that's it. So anyway, those are great dies. And then I wanted it to be like a little teacup. So that's what we turn, you know, you drink soup out of your thermoses and stuff, and coffee and hot chocolate, whatever. So I wanted to do a little tea bag, and that is coming from the So Refreshing dies. All right. And I wanted it to be a bright and shining card because, you know, you need it to be bright when you're sick. You need it to make you feel better. Okay, so the only thing we have to stamp and cut out are going to be our thermos and our little rainbow there. All right, so we are going to stamp. Oh, actually, we have to do the large thermos too. So we're going to do a little bit more than I thought, but that's okay. All right, so let me grab. Okay, so on here, I need to do, I thought I had already cut that one out, but I did not. So we need to do this one here. Okay. Oh, and then I need to do this here. Okay. And then let's do our rainbow. Okay. And I think that is it. Yes, yes it is. All right, so let's do our coloring. We are going to take our dark Pretty Peacock. And at first I wasn't so sure I liked this color when it came out in the annual catalog. I know it's the second time around. I feel like when it was an in color, I did not like it at all. Sorry. But with especially with this paper, I have definitely fallen in love with it. Excuse me. Wow. I'm going to go ahead and color my thermos lid while we're at it. Might as well. These are brand new Stampin' blends too. So it means that they work really good. Okay, so we got that colored in there. Let's go ahead and do the dark. Just giving it some of those shadow lines. Okay. All right. And then we are going to do wild wheat. That one's for you, Kathy. We're going to do wild wheat as our color here. I really pulled the paper, or the colors out the paper. So I was going to do Poppy Parade, which is the other color that's in, it's Calypso Coral, Wild Wheat, Poppy Parade, and then white. But the Poppy Parade did not look good. Not with the rest of the Calypso Corals. So we went with Wild Wheat, which I think worked out good. Okay, so there we go. There's that. Now I'm going to trim this out so that I can cut it out in the little bitty machine. We'll do this piece too. Let me cut this off. And then we'll fussy cut the other piece. Okay. And I think I could do all of this together. All right, let's line it up. Actually, I'm going to line it up on the table real quick so I can see it. Okay, so there we go. There's that one. Grab another little piece of tape. And I'm going to do the rainbow. Okay, now we will cut. And ta-da! Trash those. I got a big old pile of trash tonight. Let's grab that off. All right, so there is our rainbow. All right, so then let's trim this out. So again, we're gonna cut it. We're gonna fussy cut it on the black line. So kind of down the center of that black line. And then we're gonna go right here. Then down the black line. And then the center of that one. Okay. We're going to adhere this to the center of our piece there, and we're going to grab our Stampin' Seal. All right, and let's attach. And let's move it over just a touch. There we go. Okay, and so now we've got our two pieces there, and we've got these here. If I had been smart all along, I would have put the adhesive on the back, but I didn't. When I was cutting this out, I used the paper that I had already put my adhesive sheets on. So I probably should have been smart and done that all along, but it's okay. We're going to add a glue dot though to the back of this, and I will use that adhesive at the bottom though. That is there. Sometimes, you know, that adhesive sheet is an afterthought, and I don't know why. All right, so, and because we've got that other adhesive on it, I think it'll be fine just to do two. And we're going to add it up here. Let's do it this way. All right. There we go. And then I need to see my sample. All right. So now let's do our little tea bag. So you'll see it's got two little, and this can fold in half. I couldn't get it to really do what I wanted it to, this little top hole here. So I'm just going to cut it off. There's a little score line there where you can fold it, but it wasn't folding for me. So I just cut it off. We're going to take a little piece of linen thread, and we are going to wrap it. We're going to stick it through the hole and on the back, and I'm going to put a mini dimensional on that. I'm throwing them all around. All right, so we're going to put a mini dimensional down, which will hold it in place. And then I'm going to take off the backing, place it where I want it on my little lid there. Then I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to cut it. And then we're going to put dimensionals on that, but we're going to put regular dimensionals. And we're going to fold that down and just put the dimensional over it. Okay. All right. This one is going to get popped up, so we're going to put dimensionals on the back of it. If I can get them off. So one's going to go there, and we'll do 2 and 1 and 2. Okay, and then that rainbow will go on the front, and we'll do it with 1 dimensional. Okay, so we've got those all ready to go. Now we need to do our sentiment. So I've cut out a piece of the same paper that I did from the thermos, the same pattern. And then I did Pretty Peacock with this one. We're going to take off that adhesive sheet on the back. And then we're going to just add this to the front. Like this. Maybe, if my fingers will stop sticking. All right. There we go. Okay, so there we go. Now we're going to put dimensionals on the back of this. And we're actually going to do, many dimensionals. That's what I did with my sample. And we're going to be able to use some of the little pieces that will help us get the straight lines, the little straight pieces here. All right, so we've got that. Now, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut. Let's do this side here. We're going to cut a little thin line all the way down. Like that. Then we are going to start attaching it to the places that we need a little extra support. So like up here. So we're going to just add a little piece. And we're going to trim it as we go, kind of almost like a adhesive strip. Okay. This needs to go here. And it looks like my adhesive is coming off the front, or my little sheet's coming off the front. Okay, we got that one. Oop. We'll just take it all off. We're going to do here, because this piece I feel like would really sag, so I'm going to add some dimension to it. All right, so let's close that one. And then we're gonna do this little piece here. Oh, my finger's getting stuck. And then this here. All right, ta-da! Look at there. I'm gonna add one more right here. Okay, so then we can take off all of those backs and we're going to adhere to our embossed piece. And I do suggest, if you do decide to replicate this card, that you should put your sentiment on first so that you can figure out where all the other pieces go, because it is a long piece, so you just want to make sure you get it where it needs to go. All right, so we're going to stick this up here in the corner like that. Then we will take our stamped one here, add some adhesive. These are all kind of the same on each card, just different patterns. And we'll stick this one to the left. Take off the backs of this one. Have it go slightly toward the right. Like that. And then here is our Feel Better soup or tea, whichever one, whichever one you want to pick. All right, so then that will go right there. Okay, then we are gonna flip this over. We're gonna put dimensionals on the back of it. Again, lots and lots of dimensionals. And take our card base and we'll fold it in half, give it a good crease. Put this piece onto our card front. We'll tie our bow, and we're going to use the Calypso Coral linen thread. Is that what's called? It's linen, braided linen trim is what they call it. I have to say that y'all know my favorite is the linen thread, plus we have the black and white. This style ribbon, Stampin' Up! Has had a lot, and it is, honestly, I have to say, it's some of my favorite because it's skinnier. So it's easier to tie bows with. And then, of course, it's that linen part, which, you know, just makes me happy. So I wish they would come out with this type of thread or this type of ribbon in every single color. I would be a happy girl. Happy girl. Okay. We'll trim off our tails. And this is retiring. So after the catalog goes away, it will be no more. Oh, I wish they had kept this one around. It would have been great, but it's all right. So we'll grab a glue dot. And we will stick it, our little ribbon right there, our little bow right there. Then let's take our embellishments, and we're going to take those pearls again. But this time we're going to do the pretty peacock. I got to remember what colors those are. Hold on. Side note. Because I truly cannot remember. Page 53. Garden green, gold, petal pink, and pretty peacock. Okay, so the one we put onto the other one was a garden green, which kind of flows into, you know, the whole woodsy thing. So, okay, that works. But anyway, we're going to do the pretty peacock with this one. So we're going to add, let's do this one down here, there, and we'll put that one there. All right, so there we go. There is our last card. I hope you guys enjoyed the projects for tonight. You can get these projects with a $35 order from my store using this host code before tax and shipping, and I'll send you the make and take packets for all 3. Yes, I will love you enough to die cut both of those. So anyway, thanks for joining me tonight. Next week, we are going to play with one other set from this catalog. Obviously Monday is Christmas, so I will not be live on Christmas, but I will go live on the 26th. So the day after Christmas, I will be live, and we are going to play with the Light the Sky bundle, which is on page 58. And what I love about this is we're going to use this one because this is going to, after the catalog retires, it's going to be an online exclusive. So it will be available until Stampin' Up! Decides that it doesn't need to be in the store anymore. So I thought it would be good to use something so we can kind of bring in the new year, since the new year will be the week after. So join me next week for that. And again, there's the host code to get this. And if you need a catalog, make sure you let me know and I will get that in the mail to you. I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas. I hope you get to spend lots of time with family, and Ben and I will be spending Christmas Eve at church all day long. So we'll get to spend time with family on Christmas Day this year. So, but I will see all of y'all next week. Bye. Have a good one.